Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another COVIDeo where we talk about what we do during the coronavirus, ways that we try to be more creative and ways that we cope with the coronavirus. Now I'm all excited because today is Mother's Day, and when my son woke me this morning, he said, "Mom, we're taking you out for Mother's Day." I immediately leaped out of bed and started to pull down clothes. I was ready to go. He's like, "Mom, jeans will be fine." I was like, jeans today? No, thank you, darling. I don't care if I look overdressed, but ain't no way I'm wearing jeans today. Why? Because I've been casual for the last 8 weeks. Seriously, every day it has been active wear. Sweats when we go walk. I probably went a little bit overboard, probably, but I thought, you know what? I don't know when I'm going to get another opportunity right now during coronavirus time, so I'm going all out. So first thing I thought of was my red lipstick. Shout out to Viv for recommending this Fenty red lipstick. Once I got the red lipstick down, I was like, everything else has to be on. So I'm ready. So let's see what today turns out. May not be much, but I'm excited. As soon as we left home, I learned that we were going to have a picnic lunch brunch at Stanley Park, which is one of our provincial public parks that borders downtown Vancouver. It's one of Vancouver's main tourist attractions, and whenever we have visitors, hubby and I usually like to take our friends there. But as soon as we got to Lionsgate Bridge, and that's the bridge that leads you into downtown Vancouver. As soon as we got there and we saw the long lines, I guess that others had the same idea for Mother's Day, which is cool. But it's just that that becomes a concern, because how can you do social distancing, in a crowded place? And obviously everybody was heading there. And those who were not heading to Stanley Park were more than likely heading to one of the beaches or one of the parks in Vancouver. And you guessed it, when we got to Stanley Park, it was closed, so we had to head to Vancouver. But I couldn't believe the traffic, because this was what Vancouver looked like last weekend when hubby had to come in to get something from his office. I could not believe the difference. People were walking around like business as usual, and very little social distancing was going on. And I didn't see any masks or gloves. I mean, seriously, there was just no social distancing going on. None. But there was a little excitement. Oh dear, where is it?
Jeez, that scared the shit out of me.
I got a good moment though. And as we approached English Bay, we saw people, like ants all over the place. Obviously, they didn't get the memo about social distancing, so we knew we couldn't stay. We knew we had to go to our plan B, or plan C, or plan D, which was to find a park way out of the way that nobody wanted to be at, a less hip one.
Oh, okay.
So with no park in mind, we called our sons, because they had gone to pick up the food and they know Vancouver like the back of their hand. So we just said, we'll follow behind you, you lead. And in blind faith, we drove behind them.
At least we have sons who know the way around this.
We drove behind them, followed them through Vancouver through this tunnel, and then we ended up in this industrial area, and that was where we found a park. I was really glad the boys knew their way around because we really didn't know where to go. Because next weekend is May long weekend, and apparently people just started celebrating early. Plus, it was a lovely day, 25 degrees Celsius, and when you get that kind of weather, people in Vancouver celebrate. And after weeks of social distancing, people wanted to just get out and enjoy the sun. And our boys led us to Crab Park in East Van. At this point, I didn't care where we went. I just wanted us to find a park so that we could just sit down, relax, unwind, and just enjoy being out. Let's see the corona back, darling. Gotta get that in the video.
This place looks perfect. It's not so cold.
But as soon as we got inside the park, I was so pleased. It was so worth the long drive.
Sorry, I didn't recognize you. How are you?
Is that Judith? Hi, Judith. I'm good, and you? It's been forever. I think we saw you in Gastown the last time, right? Nice seeing you too. It was good running into one of my older son's friends from elementary school. And what was even better was when we realized that there were very few people at this park and they were all observing social distancing. Yeah. Well, that's he walked him.
Come on. He doesn't get grass and sun all the time.
Yes, this is. So why is he in the red thing?
Because I've been noticing that I'll give him a shower and then
We easily found a spot which was quite private and allowed for social distancing. So we knew that we didn't have to worry about anybody sneezing on us or anything like that. And that was quite a relief.
yeah, I opened Instagram for 2 seconds today with everyone's mom. Yeah, it was like a Polaroid in like 1983.
Yeah. I was trying to find some old school pictures, some old film pictures. Oh yeah, that's good enough. Even the denim was.
And the view was spectacular. Facing the North Shore, looking at Grouse Mountain, seeing the snow-covered mountains. It was more than I could have asked for Mother's Day. I was so pleasantly surprised. Well, maybe I shouldn't say surprised, but pleased, really pleased. And the food was good. The boys got it from a place called Taco, T-A-K-O, a Korean-Mexican fusion shop.
No, we're good.
Okay, not yet. So the food was good, conversations were good, ambience was good, music was good, everything really was good. It was just an all-around good time. And before the boys left, of course, they had to pose for the customary Mother's Day picture. Well, this time it was a video, but it happens every year. They know the drill. Okay, that's good. This one was taken last year before Dimitri left for Montreal for the Explore 5-week program. This one was the year before, 2018, at Gastown at Flying Pigs. This one was the year before that, which was some nice restaurant. And this one was when they were boys, as you can tell. I've always looked forward to Mother's Day because that's the one day for sure I am spoiled. And I know my husband has a lot to do with what happens. And I know he's a part of the arrangements, but I really look forward and enjoy these times. And this Mother's Day was just as good as all the other ones. Different, but just as good. But sadly, no hugs since the older son doesn't live at home with us. I actually didn't want to go when it was time to go because the sun felt so good and just being outside was such a freeing experience. So while I was doing the final edit for this video on Monday night, I learned that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that as a result of people not observing social distance this weekend, the parks will not be reopened next weekend for the Victoria long weekend. This is really sad, but I guess it's a consequence, you know. There was quite a buzz on Twitter this weekend because many citizens were outraged at the lack of social distancing that everybody observed at those beaches like English Bay. So I'm glad I got this opportunity this weekend to be out with the boys and to enjoy the sun in the park because it's not going to happen again for quite a while. Not until COVID-19 is under control. We got back home to North Van at about 6 o'clock and it was a perfect ending because my son had made Jamaican patties. He's been trying them out all week and he's really getting good at it. So that was perfect. So we're back home and it's the end of a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like, share, comment, and especially subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.